Hey guys, how are you? I am K2 and welcome to dramayt. Whenever I finish watching a rom-com Chinese drama, I always tend to search YouTube for the related clips. Not because I want to relive the story, but I want to check out those cute and romantic scenes. I love watching how the chemistry between our leads in the drama deepens, resulting in them becoming more passionate while doing zubi I mean being intimate or having a passionate kissing scenes. I tend to watch those scenes while my heartbeat races like crazy, so in this video I am going to share my top 15 Chinese dramas which have a lot of kissing scenes. Now without further ado, let's get into it. You Are My Glory, a story that follows an aerospace engineer Yuto and the signing star Xiao Xingxing. A decision is made to start gaming in order to save her endorsement deal, brings her face to face with an old crush. As they grow closer, the two forge ahead to become each other's glory. Being a well-known celebrity, Xiao Xingxing has to keep up with the appearances in order to maintain her multifaceted image. Alas, one starts to crack when someone leaks a video of her playing an online game and being terrible at it, which is completely inconsistent with the image she has created for herself as being the game's ambassador. Thus, she joins a gaming competition to prove her skills and to prevent herself from losing her endorsement deal. Xiao Xingxing decides to use all her free time towards improving her game, and her decision leads to reconnect with her old high school classmate Yuto, whom she once had a crush on. He was a legend at their school, outstanding in everything that he does, while Xiao Xingxing was just your average girl. Yuto then went on to become an aerospace engineer who is also an expert gamer. It seems that online game brought them together once more, so she asked him to become her gaming coach. My Little Happiness. Kong Rong has long dreamed of becoming a lawyer, but her mother is absolutely determined to see her daughter study finance abroad. Hoping that her daughter will successfully settle down somewhere overseas, her mother won't take a no for an answer. Unable to convince her mother to let her pursue her dreams, Kong Rong has no choice but to do as her mother wishes. Or does she? After successfully convincing her mother that she has set off for the distant lands, she secretly returns home to begin work as a legal intern. Taking on her first case, Kong Rong comes face to face with her childhood friend Wen Xiaoxing. Now a surgeon, Xiaoxing is not just Kong Rong's client, he is also her landlord and a next door neighbor. Tied together by the ever tightening strings of fate, Kong Rong and Xiaoxing find themselves drawing closer despite their best efforts. Engaged in a never ending battle of wits, the childhood friends may fight against the ties that bind them, but how long will they be able to resist the inevitable? Love scenery. Liang Shen is devoted to bringing good music works to the listeners, expressing the idea of being kind, real, and perfect. Losing love computer and big data research. He is highly recognized in the academic field through studying complicated human behavior and psychology, thus influencing his classmates around through his solid specialty in literacy. They are strangers at first, but then brought together by big data, they become closer in the journey of pursuing their dreams. Why women love? Zhao Jiangyu is somewhat clinical head of a tech firm. She is known for a no-nonsense approach to business and her employees. The firm releases a dating app that promises to match users with a partner in the space of just 3 months. She is also somewhat clueless in the affair of heart herself. But things start to get uncomfortable at work when the family who owns the company make arrangements for Gu Jiaxin, the heir to the business group that owns the company, to join as Zhao Jiangyu's temporary assistant. Gu Jiaxin's mother wants him to take charge of the business, but he has other ideas. He is a successful pro racing driver and is widely popular with his female fans, and would rather compete on the motorcycle track than spend time in the boardroom. At first, the duo gets off on the wrong foot. Zhao Jiangyu's try to intimidate him, and Gu Jiaxin's bumbling causes problems. But when she enlists Gu Jiaxin's help to try to capture Shuning Wan's heart, he suddenly starts to realize that he is developing feelings for her, and that feeling just might be mutual. My Love, Enlighten Me. A 22-year-old hopeful and kind-hearted pop star named Nuan Nuan is forced to reinvent herself after the girl group she is a member of disbands on the night of its debut. Overnight, her dreams came to a halt as she is hit with the harsh reality of the situation. While she struggles in her search for a post-pop career, her life gets intertwined with a man named Hanshe. Hanshe is a successful sound and light engineer who also happens to have an impeccable memory and cold personality. However, despite his amazing memory, Hanshe misremembers something very important which can later threaten to jeopardize his relationship with Nuan Nuan. Meanwhile, Nuan Nuan, who has always had a keen eye for fashion, begins to explore her love for clothes, hoping to secure a permanent spot at clothing store's headquarters. Although the relationship is often adversarial, Hanshe and Nuan Nuan also have a growing fondness for one another. Hanshe tries to help Nuan Nuan and she slowly starts to melt his icy heart. But can they withstand it when the past comes to the surface, or will it get in the way of their blooming love? Sunshine of my life. Tang Ming Xuan is the workaholic general manager of the highly successful Mingwan Fashion Group. Married to his job, he is the consummate professional and has all but resolved to remain single so he can focus his time and effort on making sure that his business endeavors go off without a hitch. But life changes forever on the day he meets Mo Fei at a design fair. She is a lovely young woman with a passion for traditional embroidery and plans to hone her skills by studying in Europe. Although they adore spending time together, they refuse to consider the notion of changing their own long set plans. So the day finally comes when Mo Fei must set off for Paris and Tang Minxuan stays in China. But love will not sunset aside so easily, and when the opportunity to launch a European fashion venture comes up, the duo is said to be reunited as business partners and perhaps more. Falling into your smile. In the ultra competitive world of esports, the all male ZZDX OPL team is second to none. Armies of adoring female fans follow the team wherever it goes. But when one of the team's star players suffers a hand injury, the tall, handsome, and notoriously hard to please ZZDX captain Lu Shisheng will not be rushed into choosing a replacement. The petite, lollipop loving Tong Yao, meanwhile, is a budding amateur gamer, obsessed with OPL. Her skills are exceptional, but she is of the firm belief that in the male dominated world of pro gaming, love is a big no no for her, even though her own ex boyfriend was a gamer. When the ZZDX team manager learns of her skills, he contacts her, thinking that recruiting her as the scene's first female player will help score a major PR coup. Lu Shisheng is dismissive of her initially, but eventually agrees to accept her as a substitute, a move that polarizes the team's fan base. But as they start to get to know one another better, could a closer bond begin to form between them? Love is sweet. Zhang Zun is a girl who is allergic to tears and has a double degree in economics and psychology. She is unrestrained and idealistic due to her family's superior background. After graduation, she worked in a philanthropy organization where she pursues her dreams. However, her father's sudden accident leaves her in a dilemma. Eventually, she decides to work in a top investment company to fulfill her father's dying wish. In MH, Jiang Zun meets her childhood playmate Yuan Shuai. However, the current Yuan Shuai is no longer her gentle protector, but her rival. In MH, where the culture of wolf instinct is rampant, someone is plotting against Jiang Zun, while someone sees her as an eyesore. However, with her kind nature and attention to detail, along with her high EQ and sense of judgment, Jiang Zun eventually attains success in both her career and love life. Princess Agents. The story takes place during the chaotic times of Wei, where innocent citizens are often kidnapped and turned into slaves. Slave girl Chu Xiao, who was thrown into the forest along with the other slaves, becomes the next target for the rich lords. She is saved by Prince of Yanbei, Yan Shun. Afterward, she is brought into a powerful family of Yu Wen and witnesses their bloody power struggle. Seeing this, she swears to take her younger sister and flee from the situation. However, she catches the attention of Yu Wen Yu and undergoes strict training while building a sense of companionship with Yan Shun. The drama focuses on Chu Xiao's life beliefs and her struggle to survive in a cruel and unfair world. My Fated Boy. While Ninyang was a young girl growing up in the countryside, she formed a close friendship with a boy from the neighborhood named Lu Zhengan. Despite the fact she was 7 years his senior, their bond was close, and they even played imagination games whereby they exchanged rings and married. Eventually, life pulled them in different directions and they lost touch with one another. Now aged 31, Lin Yang is working in an office job and living in rented accommodation. Life has not gone quite as she would have hoped, but she muddles through her daily life. But one day, her past memories come flooding back to her when Lu Zhengan, now 24, turns up on the scene. He has been studying abroad and has just graduated. Intent on rekindling their friendship and sparking a romance between them, he inserts himself back into her life. But try as he might, Lin Yang still sees him as the cute little kid from the neighborhood that he once was, a kind of a younger brother. He wants to convince her that his feelings are real, however, and will do his utmost to win her heart. Mysterious love. Quirky and adorable theatre actress Ruan Yanshu meets Li Teng, a cold and arrogant guy who possesses both high EQ and IQ. Li Teng saves Ruan Yanshu from a dangerous situation, then the two develop feelings for each other now, but they separate due to different life tracks. 5 years later, the two reunite and their feelings for each other rekindled. However, the two are faced with a new danger as they work together to unravel the antagonist's scheme. Dating in the kitchen. Working at the Zizing Hotel, Gushing Nan was an underestimated commis inside the kitchen, but she was free to express herself through her food as she sharpened her skill as a chef. To make matters worse, an unfortunate misunderstanding lands her on the wrong side of her soon-to-be boss, the sharp-tongued CEO Luzin. As a business prodigy, Luzin is not afraid to make tough decisions. Ready to condemn Zizing Hotel, Luzin changes his mind after a happy accident brings one of Singnan's dishes his way. A hardcore foodie, Luzin is impressed with Singnan's skill as a chef and readily recognizes her talent. Sharing a love of food, this unlikely pair begins to form an unexpected bond that leads them to a place neither of them ever expected to be. Find Yourself. A love story between an accomplished career woman and a younger man. He Fan Xing's company is at risk of being acquired, while a relationship with Yuan Xiong faces societal pressures due to their age difference. The consecutive blows in her work and love life push her to an emotional quagmire, and it is during this time that Yulu Ming enters her life. Being older in age, he is mature, stable and knowledgeable. He becomes He Fangxing's life coach and the source of conflict between the couple. For He Fangxing, it's not merely a matter of choosing the man that she loves, but considering the contradictions of adopting the traditional mindset on marriage. You Are My Destiny. On board a cruise ship for the Bahamas, two people from separate worlds have a chance encounter, transforming them into one another's destiny. The mousy and unassertive admin assistant Chen Jiaxin meets the handsome, educated and charming Wan Shi, hired to a large toiletries conglomerate. Mistaken identities serve to complicate their impromptu one-night stand, which ensures further contact once back on land as well. Family pressure arises from the pregnancy that has Yasin agreeing to contract marriage with a divorce clause. The child once born will remain with Shi, who will marry the woman he loves, dancer and longtime girlfriend Shiana. Meddling and miscommunication lead to a tragic event. A heartbroken Jiaxin runs away from her feelings and Shi to Hungary, where her friend and art broker Dailin is headquartered. Over the following 3 years, she will establish herself as a potter thanks to the tutelage of a prominent mentor. Dylan is ever supportive and finds himself developing feelings for Jiaxin. Separation from Jiaxin finds Shi maturing into someone certain of desiring a family. Meanwhile, he must fend off the advances of the delusional Anna who is plotting to get him back. Dylan remains steadfast in his quest to locate his long-lost sister with whom he was separated as a child. Fate and a business deal will reunite Jiaxin and Shi in Hungary. As their shared history and future possibilities converge, it is as if they had never been apart. Love Designer. Because of a lawsuit, fashion designer Zhao Fang meets Songlin. They are mismatched from the start but forced to cooperate due to interdependence in their lives and work. Having two hard-headed people together is bound to result in conflicts, but in the process of competing with each other, Zhao Fang and Songlin's feelings evolve. Zhao Fang's work hard to create a sophisticated brand, while Songlin, who prioritizes efficiency above all, pushes for a breakthrough in his career. So that was it guys, the video ends here. I hope you have liked this video. If you have watched the video till here, just give this video a like and do subscribe to dramayt. And yet, you guys have not followed me on the Instagram handle, do follow me there as well. The Insta handle is @nachiketa555. I will see you later. As always, love, peace and hugs. It's been a pleasure.